Tonight, we investigate the real cost to the taxpayer of the Senedd, the Welsh Assembly's new debating chamber. But first, a harrowing tale. This woman, Tricia Breckman, has just been convicted of assault. She's going to lodge an appeal tomorrow. Her neighbours, Karen and Andrew Thomas, run a haulage business from their farm without planning permission. When Tricia Breckman and her partner, Eddie Roberts, complained, the feud began. Last June, we investigated the role of Carmarthenshire Council in the dispute. They'd done little, despite an admission from a planning officer that someone could get hurt. After our last programme, someone did get hurt. This is what it looks like when neighbours go to war in the Welsh countryside.
It entitles you to open the gates and put in a lock on both of them. You're obstructing my right of way, Mr. Roberts. Anything to say about that? Have you got anything to say about that?
This is the story of the Thomases, who live here, and what they've done to their neighbours, Tricia Breckman and Eddie Roberts, who live down there. To reach their cottage, they use a short access lane over the Thomases' land. When the couples fell out, the Thomases narrowed the lane, installed motorway crash barriers and 2 extra gates. We made a programme about it last June. After the programme, war was declared.
You created this wall with that wall.
After war was declared, Andrew Thomas raised a Welsh flag over his English neighbours' right-of-way. It could only be seen from their cottage.
When they put it up there, you couldn't see it from their property or the road, but only from our property as we passed back and forth on that top piece of drive.
Then Karen and Andrew Thomas built a pigsty underneath their neighbour's bedroom window. This is the view from the window.
They put pigs under our bedroom window and called them by our names, Eddie and Tricia. And Karen Bowen would come down to them any time from 6 o'clock in the morning and talk to them, Eddie and Tricia, and tell Tricia that her manners were atrocious and that she needed beauty sleep, so she should go to bed early, and all kinds of other things as well. And this is within 2 metres, really, of my pillow, in effect.
Tricia Breckman filmed this from her bedroom window. So the Thomases blocked the view with a large board. She complained to the council, but the head of the planning department, Ivian Bowen, approved. He called this a privacy board. Karen Thomas talked to the pigs.
You're not to poke your nose into where it's not wanted, Trish.
The dispute started when the Thomases moved in 2001 and started a trucking business without planning permission. A previous resident of Tricia Breckman's cottage complained to the council, who told him to make a written record, which he did for 4 months. Another neighbour, a civil engineer, also made a log, and even the community council complained to County Hall. However, the County Planning Authority did nothing. When Tricia Breckman and Eddie Roberts moved in, they'd not been told about the dispute. They were also disturbed by the lorries, so they contacted the planning authority. They were told to get photographic evidence to support their claims. For months, they filmed the trucks coming and going, but the planners refused to even view the films. We had approached Karen and Andrew Thomas for our last programme.
We just wanted to have a word with you if we can.
Come on, please. You're
Could we have a word with you about...
Not at all.
The next month, there was an assault. Karen Thomas dialed 999 and said Tricia Breckman had sprayed her in the face with hairspray and pulled her hair. She also said she'd pushed Tricia Breckman and pulled her hair too. In court, Karen Thomas denied even touching her.
It all happens very quickly, so you're probably only talking seconds, half a minute.
Tricia Breckman claims she was defending herself from Karen Thomas. She was taken to hospital and photographs of her injuries were shown to magistrates, but now the court can't find them. In September, the Thomases installed the 3rd gate on the access lane. They claimed it was for their animals' safety. The fire brigade had already inspected the lane. They said the gates were too narrow for a fire engine and wrote to all concerned, including the council. No one appeared to have any power to do anything about it.
We leave those gates open because there's no purpose to them other than to intimidate us. And every single day, they will immediately follow us and close them behind us, so that each time we go out, we've got to go through 3 gates, and each time we come back home, we've got to come through 3 gates.
In October, Tricia Breckman filmed the first of a series of serious confrontations on the lane.
If I was as backward as you, I would be worried.
Do you know,
If I was as backward as you and was as low as you two, no wonder you crawled out of England.
It was also captured on Tricia Breckman and Eddie Roberts' CCTV.
How's your taxi job doing, Eddie? Rolf,
got to do with
Rolf, Rolf, how's your taxi job doing?
Janet.
Do you know if I was 20 years younger, I'd take your head off your
Janet.
shoulders?
I'd love you to try.
Yeah, I'm not old enough. I'm
Who
too
was
old.
the
Why
one
not?
that
Why
Tricia
don't you
said
try?
was
I'd love you to try.
Who
And
was
your
the
son,
one?
I'd love you. Go and find somebody to try. And he
get lots of
is
friends.
Hitler. See Hitler?
He's not, he's Rolf
Rolf
Harris.
Harris have got nothing on him. Hitler.
Rolf Harris.
No, he's not a good looking as Rolf. He's not a good looking as Rolf. Go and shave yourself, it's crap.
Tricia Breckman was upset by the extra gate. She took to parking her car across it to stop it being constantly closed by the Thomases. Andrew Thomas retaliated.
Tricia had gone up to the gate and opened it ready for her leaving. However, having left the car there, slightly blocking that second gate, which is their lower gate, with her car, he then came down with his tractor and attached some chain or something to the front of her car and attempted to drag it up the drive, although it was in gear with the handbrake on.
It's almost surreal. You kind of step outside of it for most of the time, and then suddenly you're back in it, and it hits you because it's a completely abnormal way of living.
Tricia Breckman is getting help from victim support, but their representative is not allowed to visit her at home because of the risk. She told her boss that she felt threatened by Andrew Thomas. Other people have also felt threatened. Government inspectors visited the Thomases' trucking operation, but left because they felt in danger. They said Mr. Thomas immediately became abusive and aggressive towards us. It was clear that we were in danger and left. In December, the Deputy Traffic Commissioner gave the Thomases a licence to keep 3 lorries. We were filming outside the hearing.
Get that out of my face.
I'll report you for that.
Get that out of my face.
2 days after Christmas, Andrew Thomas actually locked and chained the gate. Tricia Breckman and Eddie Roberts were prisoners in their own home. The Thomases marched onto their neighbour's property and waved a page of their deeds, which they say gives them the right to lock the gates.
They locked us in, and Eddie rang the police and said, "Would you please come and help us? They've locked us in." And they refused to come.
Eddie Roberts called across to the Thomases. He pleaded with them to let them out. Andrew Thomas came over, but rather than unlock the gates, he confronted Eddie Roberts while his wife filmed him.
No, Andrew, don't give him the key. We'll keep it.
It
Andrew.
entitles you to open the gates and put in a lock on both of them. You're obstructing my right of way, Mr. Roberts. Anything to say about that? Have you got anything to say about that?
No, I think we'll keep the key. Mr. Roberts.
Mr. Wright, we'll seek some legal advice. How was that, man?
That's a nice bit of violence. Thank you for
No
hitting me in the
violence.
face.
No violence, Mr.
You've
Roberts.
just hit me in the face. That's an
I did not hit
assault.
you in the face, Mr. Roberts.
Yes,
I
you
give you a
did.
copy of my deeds. Don't tell lies.
You pushed
You're
it
a
into
liar.
my face.
You're a liar. You witnessed that, Royston? He's a liar. He said that I hit him. You're a liar. Mr. Wright, we'll seek some legal advice. How was that, man?
CCTV also recorded the incident. Eddie Roberts says he's complained to the police. The police told us they can't comment while their professional standards department is considering the situation.
We've been treated very badly. We have been allowed to be bullied by the neighbours, and we've asked for help, and it hasn't been forthcoming.
Tricia Breckman was found guilty of common assault by Llanelli magistrates. She was given a conditional discharge and ordered to pay £300 costs and £50 compensation. The day before her court appearance, she was alone in the cottage. Andrew Thomas locked her in again.
I've closed the gate 3 times within 5 minutes. She'd come up and opened it. She's not going out, so I've now put a lock and chain on it. How would I know what?
Why I'm opening the gate?
Why you're opening the gate? Your right of that track is to pass and repass. I've closed the gate.
How do I get out of here if I don't open the gate?
When you want to go out, I'll open it.
Don't be so
I offered you
ridiculous.
pardon.
Tricia Breckman is going to appeal against her conviction, but her solicitor has told her that the Crown Prosecution Service is also considering a charge of harassment against her.
I was so upset that I've got to my age, and I don't know how it can be that I have been found guilty of hurting somebody.
The Thomases declined to be interviewed for this programme. The Council Planning Authority also declined to take part.